Let's talk about Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers. His first 3 years in the NFL, a 39-10 record, 3 playoff appearances, 2 NFC Championship games as well. That's a very good start of your career. The last 4 years, 33, 26, and 1, 2 playoff appearances, 1 playoff win. The difference between the first 3 years and the last 4 years has been the quarterback play. The first 3 years, Aaron Rodgers was his starting quarterback. The last 4 years, Jordan Love has been his starting quarterback. And this doesn't get talked about enough with Matt LaFleur. He did not have to go out there and to develop Aaron Rodgers. He was already one of the best quarterbacks in the game. You inherited one of the best of all time at that position, and he did not fall off a cliff. The play calls are drastically different with Aaron Rodgers compared to Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers will audible at the line of scrimmage as soon as possible. If he doesn't like a play, audible out of it immediately. With Jordan Love, he's not doing that at the line of scrimmage. And the reason why I bring this up, he had to go out there and to develop Jordan Love. And the same mistakes that Jordan was making in 2023, he's making right now as a starting quarterback with this organization. We haven't seen that growth with him as a player. And this is very scary for a team that has Super Bowl aspirations to open up the season. You traded 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark to bring in Micah Parsons, and you gave him a massive contract extension on top of that. You gave Jordan Love a lot of money as well a couple of seasons ago after that one good year in 2023. And he hasn't been that franchise quarterback just yet. I still think that he has all the tools to be so. But right now, he's not that guy. And with Matt LaFleur, he's not a terrible head coach. I'm not saying fire him and go with Jeff Hafley for the rest of the season, but he needs to be better as a head coach and as an offensive play caller. I think there's time to give up the play calling duties. Let someone else call plays. It's not working right now. It's the same screen passes every single week to Josh Jacobs, to Savion Williams, and to Romeo Doubs. Every single week this season, their offense has consistent of a bunch of screen passes, at least 4 to 5 a game, and teams are catching on to it. And that's the play calling with Matt LaFleur. It is stale and it's not working. You rarely see them use motion. They will rarely pull a guard to help out in the run game. It's a standard offense. It's like he's calling plays out of the early 2000s, and he has no idea what he's doing. When you take Tucker Kraft off the field, this offense takes a major step back in production. And that's all on Coach LaFleur. He did a tremendous job last season. When Jordan Love went down with the knee injury, he went down to groin injury, you had Malik Willis as a starting quarterback. They ran the football more with Josh Jacobs. They worked off of play action. And for the back half of that season, the Green Bay Packers were a very tough team to beat. Coach LaFleur did a tremendous job. I will give him his credit, but this is no longer last season. And when you don't have that run game to bail you out, this year with Josh Jacobs, he's getting exposed with his passing concepts every single week this season. Even in their wins this year, the passing concepts haven't been the best. And that's not a good look on a man that's the head coach and the offensive play caller. Now, going back to week 1, they defeated the Detroit Lions in amazing fashion, 27-13, but Jordan Love only had 188 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Against the Washington Commanders, they won this game 27-18. Jordan Love had a very good game, 292 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. He did miss some passes deep down the field, but you can't complain much. It's a win. But he would still like to have some of those passes back to Matthew Golden in open space. The same with Tucker Kraft, but it's okay. You won. Against the Cleveland Browns, you lost this game 13-10. Now it's the Cleveland Browns. This is Joe Flacco, one of the worst offenses in the NFL then and even still now. Your defense only allowed 13 points. You should win this game. Now the entire offensive line was dealing with injuries. You have your second and third string offensive linemen. You can't run the football with Josh Jacobs, but you find a way to win that game. We have seen Kyle Shanahan go out there with backups on his offensive line, on his defense, even at the quarterback position, and he still wins games against some starting teams in the NFL that are fully healthy. That is what makes you an elite head coach in this league. You could say it was a trap game, but not for a team that traded 2 first-round picks for Micah Parsons and Kenny Clark that has Super Bowl aspirations. You have to find a way to win that matchup. But at least your defense looked good. Jordan Love was terrible in this game. Against Dallas Cowboys, they tied 40-40. They should have had this game won. And the reason why I say that, the Dallas Cowboys have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. You should score 40 in this game, but your defense has to step up. But it's more than just the defense and the offense here. The clock management late in overtime made 0 sense. You're running hurry up. Call that timeout. Get everyone set and get them going. Jordan Love throws a football the middle of the field. If that goes for an interception, if he's a second late, they lose this game. That is terrible management. And that is on Coach LaFleur yet again, the head coach. Know your situation. Even at the end of the first and the second quarter, it was a lot of questionable moments with Matt LaFleur. And this is a problem that he had last season. This is something he has to work on moving forward because that will get him fired. You have to do a better job with using timeouts and managing a game. The next week against the Cincinnati Bengals, against one of the worst teams in the NFL defensively, great win, 27-18. Jordan Love was phenomenal. Against the Arizona Cardinals, very good game. Yet again, Jordan Love was a bit underwhelming, but he got it done. Against the Steelers, very good win, 35-25. He made a lot of adjustments in the second half. So it has been some good moments this season with the Green Bay Packers, but in the last 2 games, you've hit a wall. Against the Carolina Panthers, you allow 16 points and you lose this game 16-13. How are you losing a game to where your defense only allowed the opposing team to score 16 points? That should be a win. And Bryce Young did not do anything special in that game. Rico did run all over you, but Jordan Love making dumb mistakes, missing wide receivers that are wide open, missing throws that he wasn't missing last year. And if he did miss those throws last year, you could say he was dealing with injuries. He had the groin injury. He had the knee injury. That's not the case right now. And he did have time inside the pocket. He was seeing ghosts. He wasn't letting it rip compared to what he did the week before against the Steelers, where he had 3 passing touchdowns, and Tucker Kraft was a monster in that game against the Steelers. Even though Rico had a great day on the ground against you, your defense still played well enough to win this game. And last night against the Philadelphia Eagles, one of the worst games I've seen with Matt LaFleur being the head coach, you lost to the Philadelphia Eagles 10-7. And Jordan Love, once again, missing wide receivers in space, only had 176 passing yards. And when he did come up clutch, he'll escape pressure from Jalen Phillips, who was a monster last night. Shout out to the Eagles for taking care of business, and the same with the Panthers and the Browns. They had the right game plan. But Jordan Love will have these moments. He escapes the pocket, on the back foot, delivers a dot to a wide receiver, drop. Savion Williams had that fumble against the Carolina Panthers. That has nothing to do with Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur. Because I'm seeing the coach and the quarterback get so much hate right now. When you have wide receivers drop passes, offensive linemen that can't block, that has nothing to do with the coach and the quarterback. Even though Jordan Love has missed a lot of throws this season, the wide receivers, they need to be better. Now, you would think on paper, the way that Christian Watson is built, the way that he looks, you would think this kid should be the best wide receiver in this room. But it's the injuries that he's been dealing with. And he had a lot of drops early on in his career. But Matthew Golden, they've rarely got him the football this season. And you spent a first-round pick on him. The Packers, they rarely spend first-round picks on wide receivers. But get him more involved. And Tucker Kraft, he's out for the rest of the season with an ACL injury. He led this team in receptions. He led this team in receiving yards. I hope this is not a situation to where the Packers can't do anything in the pass game for the rest of the year without Tucker Kraft. If that's the case, fire LaFleur after this season, then you go with Jeff Hafley. Because that's inexcusable. And Tucker Kraft, one of the best tight ends that you can have. He's a combo tight end. He's one of the best blockers you can have. He's a phenomenal receiving tight end. He's in the same conversation with George Kittle. but you have other weapons outside of him. And you have Luke Musgrave. Luke Musgrave, he's no Tucker Kraft, but he is solid. He's not a superstar tight end like Tucker, but he can go out there. He can give you solid moments. But at the end of the day, Coach LaFleur is your head coach, and offense is his game. And without the offense working right now, and with the offense being so inconsistent, that all falls on him. And you look at situations like this with Jordan Love. He had a fumble in this game against the Philadelphia Eagles. They're in field goal range. Situations like that, a fumble with Josh Jacobs. It was a 4th and 1 call. They ran hurry up offense. You have the Eagles defender. He's pointing in his direction, the defensive tackle. He's saying inside zone right here. And what do the Packers do? They ran inside zone right at him. Even the players know your play calls. They watch film. They're smart. So if the players know this, you know that the coaches know this. Those offensive linemen, they shift over, they stop the run. You put Josh Jacobs in a tough situation, and the same with the rest of your offensive players. And you had a timeout to use. Once again, terrible game management on Coach LaFleur. In the kicking situation, Brandon McManus, he's active right now. Very good kicker. But this is a problem. You get into field goal range against the Philadelphia Eagles. You go for it on 4th and 9. You don't even attempt to kick the field goal because you don't trust your kicker because of injuries in the past. And yet you have Lucas, who can kick from 55 yards plus. He's active as well. Kick the football with him. It's a defensive struggle right now. Your defense is balling out with Jeff Hafley, Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, Devontae Wyatt. Lean on your defense. Take the 3 points. Jordan Love is not killing you right now from inside the pocket. He had the one splash play with Devontae Smith. That was it. And Saquon had a couple of okay runs. But for the most part, you did a great job against Saquon. You didn't let him go out there. You didn't let him get the one big run to break open the game. So you take your points and you trust in your defense. You trust in your kicker. If you don't trust Brandon McManus, why is he active? Head coaching decision. But the defense, have to give them credit. They've balled out this year, with the exception of the one game against the Dallas Cowboys. And the reason why I keep bringing up the defense, the Packers are going to have a tough decision to make this postseason, if they make it to the postseason, because they're third in their division right now behind the Bears and behind the Detroit Lions. Jeff Hafley, more than likely, will get head coaching interviews very soon. Do you fire Matt LaFleur and do you make him your head coach for the foreseeable future? Or do you risk with going with Coach LaFleur and you trust him within the next couple of years of being the head coach in Green Bay and you let Jeff Hafley walk? Matt LaFleur is the same man that had Joe Barry as a defensive coordinator, and that didn't work out. And he talked with Jeff Hafley about being the defensive coordinator. He was a head coach in Boston College. He had a sweet gig at the college level. He comes over to be the defensive coordinator. That's an interesting storyline to watch for the rest of the season. But I'll say this. I'm still a huge fan of Coach LaFleur. I have a lot of questions right now about Jordan Love. I think that they will figure things out as the season goes on. 3 teams may make it out of this division. It may be the Bears, it may be the Lions, and the Packers. Right now, JJ is so inconsistent with the Minnesota Vikings. The one positive that I will say about Jordan Love, even though he's been very inconsistent with this offense, he's not throwing back-breaking interceptions. That's the one thing with him. When he gets going, very good quarterback, but he needs to be more consistent. But I don't think that they should fire Coach LaFleur right now. You let him finish out the season, and you see how things go. If you miss the postseason and the offense doesn't get better, then you move off of him. You promote Jeff Hafley to being the head coach, and you go from there. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless. Peace.